Hey everyone, my name is Mike Vaughn. I'm a writer for Geek Vibes Nation, and I have a very special guest today talking about her film King on Screen, and as Daphne Baiwir. Fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it. Jumping right in, what's your favorite Stephen King movie adaptation?
I must say it's The Green Mile. I was very young when I watched it for the first time, and since then it's like my favorite movies of all time. Actually, I really love it. Yeah.
That's great. Now, I'm assuming that you tried to get Stephen King involved in this project.
Well, actually, the purpose of the film was really to have director's point of view on his work. So we didn't want to have Stephen King involved too much into the film, because we wanted the film to be some kind of homage and not really having too much of his point of view, because he said a lot of things already about adaptation. But we really wanted this film to be like conceived as an homage, like for example with the fictional introduction, and so yeah, we really built it that way.
Yeah, it's great, and I think that's interesting. You brought up with just having the directors, which I actually thought was a really cool way to maybe streamline it a little bit more. Was that always the plan, not to do just directors as far as being interviewed?
Yeah, absolutely. It was really what I wanted to do since day one. I said, okay, I want to have the director's point of view. That's why we didn't interview any actors or any producers, because I really wanted to know how, as a filmmaker, you adapt a book, and the whole process and the relationship with the material and the author as well. So it's really what I wanted to see and to explore. So I didn't want to have something with like everybody talking about Stephen King. I really wanted to have this point of view. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it works great. Again, I think it's so streamlined and it's really just beautifully put together. So, what was the most interesting thing you learned while making this film?
Well, we learned so many different things. It was really such a great human adventure, because we had the chance to meet all these great directors, and we like met them for like an hour with each. We had an hour to discuss about everything, the process. So it was really amazing to live this experience, and to learn as a filmmaker, to learn a lot about their view regarding the adaptations, regarding their work as a director, and how they manage to have some kind of balance between the author's work and their creative vision. So it was really interesting at the end to have all this point of view about it.
Now, were there any movies you wanted to maybe feature a little bit more, or had to omit altogether just for like time's sake?
What do you mean, sorry, by that?
Oh, was there any like movies like Stephen King adaptations that you wanted to include and maybe didn't have time to, or some that you had to maybe trim out?
Well, I mean, I love a lot of them. For example, I would have loved to spend a little more time on Misery, for example. It's one of the films that I really love. We talk about it for sure, but I mean, there are so many great movies that if we wanted to be like very, accurate and talk about each movie, it would be like some kind of 40 hours movie documentary at the end, which could be great and interesting, but it would have been quite difficult to do. So yeah, we had to make some choices, and Misery is one adaptation that I really loved. I would have love to go further in it, but still I'm glad because we get the chance to talk about a lot of films and a lot of great films in the documentary. So yeah, I think at the end I'm pretty happy with all the movies we are talking about.
Yeah, and you get so many amazing directors, Mike Flanagan, Frank Darabont, gosh, like just so many legends in the field. Was there anybody that you were a little bit starstruck with, or somebody that you were really particularly excited to meet?
Well, actually, Frank Darabont is my favorite director since I'm very little. So I was like quite stressed because I was like, okay, when you meet someone that you really admire the work, you are like, okay, I hope everything is gonna be okay. I hope it will be a nice moment for him, especially for him, because I wanted him to feel like great about what we were doing, especially. So yeah, it was like a moment where you like a little bit stressed and you have the feeling that you are going to jump into a pool, somehow. And we arrived and it was so nice and so really so giving and so great that we had the time of our life. Actually, it was really such a great meeting. And Mick Garris as well is such a nice guy, really. And yeah, Mike Flanagan, we had the chance to have him like at the very last minute. Actually, we had been crazy lucky because he was working like hell, and he just told us, okay, I have this break, but it's like a couple of days, so we had to really be quick about it. And my God, I'm so glad he was able to do it, because he's such a great director as well, and having him in the film is amazing.
Great. Now you're an actor also. If you could act in any Stephen King adaptation, what would it be?
Wow, that's a great question, because there are so many great roles. I mean, playing Annie Wilkes, it's like could be fun, I guess. There are so many great female characters, I mean, in the Stephen King books. So if you think about Rose the Hat in Dr. Sleep, it's such a great role as well. So yeah, there are so many, actually.
Great. Is there anything else you're working on that you wanted to mention?
Well, actually, I'm working currently on a documentary about Steinbeck and Hitchcock, because they worked together on the film Lifeboat. So again, it's about the collaboration between an author and a filmmaker. I think it's an interesting topic. So I'm doing this documentary about this film, since it was during propaganda. The background, the historical background, is really interesting. And I've got plenty of other projects. I'm working on the first fiction film this time, and also in a horror series documentaries, with a lot of documentary that will be You'll Never Sleep Again. So that's the title of the series, actually.
Oh, nice. That sounds awesome. Well, again, gosh, thank you so much. The film is fantastic. I can't wait to see all the other cool projects you have in the works. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks. That was great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.